It is finally here. it's been it's been how many years now at this point that we've been hearing rumors that this was going to come out, and it's finally come out. They just sort of shadow dropped it like nobody's business. Um yeah, wow. This is cool. This is really cool. Um I've played this game before, so I'm not going to play through the whole of this, but I want to take a look at it because the fact that this even exists is very cool to me. And fingers crossed it means something for Prime 4, that hopefully, maybe, possibly, we get some news sometime soon. I'm getting the feeling at this point that it's probably going to come out on whatever the Switch 2 is. They won't call it that. It's Nintendo. It'll be like the new Switch XL Plus Pro or something. So yeah, I did boot this up just to make sure everything was capturing correctly. I didn't really look at much. I clicked on what extras was. That was about it. So they've got in here some stuff you can look at. I've never actually played the original version of this. I played the Wii version. Which, from what I hear, is kind of the way to do things, because the controls are just not necessarily the most well-aged thing on the GameCube. But, yeah, so this is like some sort of art gallery. I'm not totally clear on why they call it biology when it includes the ship, unless there's some lore that this guy is, like, a living being, which I'm not aware of, in which case, wow, that's kind of terrifying. I mean, there's a lot of weird Metroid lore, I suppose. Yeah, there's this character gallery, which, again, I wouldn't think of this as a character, but I'm assuming the more you progress, the more you get to look at here. This part does not fill me with confidence. I don't know if it's going to show up in the recording, because the recording is going to be a bit soft, but the aliasing is really bad here. And, like, I know Nintendo never does anti-aliasing, but did they really have to put it on this, like, checkerboard patterns floor? Like, that doesn't seem to be helping matters at all. And then there's, like, whatever this like, seam here is on the ship, which when you zoom out looks, like, really rough. It looks like a shadow that's, like, super low res, but then you zoom in and you're like, no, that's just the way this texture is. So here's to hoping this isn't a sign of things to come. And then you get the soundtrack, which unlocks song by song as you play it. So, I'm gonna take a look at the options, too, because they said there was gonna be... Yeah, okay. So they have dual stick controls, which was kind of what I figured they would do. Pointer control... Oh, that... Okay, so, if you've never played the Wii version of this, the Prime Trilogy control scheme has Wii Remote in one hand, Nunchuck in the other, and you control it by, like, pointing the Wii Remote at the screen, which sounds awful, but it's actually really, really comfortable in practice. But I don't know how well that will translate without the, like, one-to-one pointing of the Wii Remote when all you have is, like, the gyro sensor, you know? I will be very curious about that. The classic control scheme with... Oh! Okay, yeah, so this is classic. So this is, like, really old-school shooter controls. If you've never played, like, a really, really old console shooter, it's... Your left stick is look left-right and move forward-backward. And then you don't look up and down, I believe. I'm pretty sure it's just the lock-on to do that. And then the right stick is to, like, switch your weapons, I think? Like I said, I never actually played the GameCube version. I know it's to switch something, but I don't know if it's weapons or visors. But then, yeah, see, it cycles around here. So it looks like if you want to use motion controls, you have to use the classic controls, which I don't know how I feel about that. I'm gonna stick with the default here. I'm gonna do the twin stick. What is hint system? Oh, right. Okay, yeah, that is actually in the game. If you have color... Okay, so there's like a color blind. I don't think that was in the original. That seems new to me. Oh, that's cool! Yeah. Okay, so there's... If I remember correctly, there's two narrated intros to this game. There's one that was like Samus talking to herself that got cut in a beta, but then they reintroduced, because if I remember correctly, and again, I could be wrong on this, I think the North American version came out first, and they had cut the intro narration, and then when the European and Japanese versions came out, they added a narration, but it was a different one back in. So depending on which region you were in, you got a different experience. And I guess they let you change that here, because I'm pretty sure it just wasn't there in the trilogy version, which also makes me wonder if that one hunter in Phendrana is going to be there. I'm not going to play that far to find out right now, but yeah, let's get into this. I'm very curious how this looks. It looked really good in the trailer, but you know, trailers are always misleading. I was tempted to wait for the physical copy, but the way I figure it's like, it's a remaster. I don't care that much. I'll buy 4 physical, though. Oh, man. What an intro. What a game. If you've never played this game, whether or not this is a good remaster, if this is the easiest way for you to play this game, I don't even care. Just play it. Just play it. They'd have to, like, really fuck this up for this not to be worth playing. It's a very good game. Yeah, already, just, like, the amount of detail on the planet surface is oh, there's, like, rumble effects for the asteroid. Also, don't think I didn't see. There's some log shenanigans going on in the distance on this ship. But, man. As much as anti-aliasing is, like, the very first thing I turn off in a game, there's, like, a lot of thin lines here. And it's kinda yikes for me. I'm really hoping either for fewer thin lines or for the technical headroom to enable anti-aliasing in Prime 4 when that comes out. Oh, that was nice. It's kind of got the lighting thing going on from... Wait for it. There we go. It's kind of got the lighting thing going on for... Actually, I guess it was just in the cutscene, because it's not really doing it here. There was like a bit of a weird glow coming off the cannon in the cutscene, where I was like, this kind of looks like the Emmy zone lighting in Dread, where it's like weirdly oversaturated, but only in the glow around the light. Which wasn't a complaint, it was just sort of like a thing. But it's not doing it here, so I don't know. Yeah, that's weird. Now, I have not played a twin-stick shooter. I've not played a controller shooter in a while. But I don't think that it's gonna... I don't think it would necessarily bother me to play like this because of the lock-on. Right, if you've ever played... Okay, I don't actually know how to use... Okay, so that's not doing anything. Unless that's supposed to... I take issue with that, because that definitely looked like press the button on the right and not press right on the D-pad, because there were no arrow symbols in there like there usually are. But I guess it makes more sense for it to be on the D-pad. I just wish that HUD item were a little clearer, perhaps? Use up to return to combat visor. Right, you need to do... Or no, that is how that works. It's been a while since I played this game. But yeah, no, like I was saying, it's like... It's been a while since I played a shooter on controller, and so consequently it's been a while... Well, I guess Splatoon, but it's really been a while since I played one that's just standard twin-stick shooter. And so... it's a little weird doing this, but with the lock-on being there, it's certainly much more doable than just playing a twin-stick shooter. They've moved shoot up to the trigger, which I was afraid they probably wouldn't do. It just seemed like an... Oh, God! Look at the lighting on this! Oh, that's, like, really pretty. And it was, like... What was that, like a fog effect, too? Okay, they've definitely got some lodge shenanigans going on here, too. But still, this looks really good. This looks much better than I would expect out of a Nintendo product. Certainly these days. And certainly a remaster. Like, oh my god. Yeah, just like the lighting effects on this too. And they actually got the fire running at 60 FPS. That was always one of my favorite things about Dread, is the fire particle effects ran at 30 frames a second while the rest of the game ran at 60. So whenever there was fire, it was just like, oh, yep, okay, this is very fake looking. But my goodness, this looks good. And the glow coming off the arm cannon, too. This whole thing looks, like, really, really slick. Now, I'm pretty sure one of these guys is, like... Yeah, I was gonna say, I think this guy is barely alive. And I don't know why I'm scanning all of this, because like I said, I'm probably not going to play much past this intro area. But so far, I'm impressed. You know, no comment on the frame rate. It's smooth, but also so was the original. The original did run at 60 FPS on a GameCube, which even back then, like, people were like, how did they get this running so smoothly? That's incredible. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm pretty sure the original was just one fire, and then you got the charge beam, but this seems to let off a couple. Yeah, because I'm not, like, spamming the fire button here. It's just, when I hold it, it lets off 3. So I don't know why they made that change. I don't know how that's really gonna affect gameplay, but it's there, so. I suppose I should check out the other control schemes, because I did mention, oh, right, this has, okay, yeah, so plus is gonna be your map. And the right stick, I guess, scrolls it, and the left stick... Why is it right stick to move and left stick to rotate? That's confusing to me. Whatever. It's close enough. You'll get used to it. But yeah, this looks pretty damn similar. But then I guess minus is how you get into... Yeah. Oh my god. And the shading on the suit here looks really nice, too. You've got, like, the shadows in the shoulders. I mean, this isn't, like, groundbreaking visuals or anything, but it's just way more than I would have expected out of a Switch title at this point. Of course they picked the one with the red and blue Joy-Cons. Okay. Yeah. So I want to try these out. So I'm going to try and give myself a bit more room here. Please calibrate your controller. Okay. Whoa. Controller calibrated. Okay. So this is... Yeah. No, this isn't a thing. No. No one is going to play like this. I'm sorry, Nintendo. It's just not gonna... Oh, God! Okay. So you get... Yeah, so you like, move your controller around, and it sort of moves the cursor a bit. And you can still do the lock-on with the left, and just like the Wii version, you then get free roam around the screen here. But then right trigger centers you, so you have to use A in this mode to fire, which is a bit of a weird decision, I think. But I can already tell you that this is awful. It's very natural with a Wii remote. This control scheme like this, you know what? If you like it, more power to you. I highly suspect nobody is going to use this. Now, I'm gonna do classic first here, just so it's not so jarring. Because I've not ever played the GameCube version of this, so I genuinely don't know... Oh, okay, I guess that's how you fire missiles. Okay, that's Morph Ball. Got it. Can I go in here? I can go in here. I was gonna say, it's been a while since I played this, but I'm pretty sure that works. Oh, man. It's... The thing about it is that the original Metroid Prime really hasn't aged that badly at all, if you go and look at it today. The only thing I would say is really aged badly is the look of the Phazon is not exactly great. But easily its weakest point is the lighting, and that seems to be where they made the most changes. I mean, there's massive... Okay, that's... Why do I keep wanting to do... I keep thinking Morph Ball is going to be the top instead of the left, for no good reason. Like, I don't exactly have, like, a precedent that would tell me that, but that is my instinct. But yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's plenty more overhauled here than just the lighting, but the lighting seems to be the one that's having the biggest impact for me. Like, if they had just left all the textures the same, I mean, it would look worse. But I don't think it would look that bad, you know? Okay, so that's an interesting one. So if you go into classic controls, the scan visor is left on the D-pad. Whereas if you go into dual stick controls, it's right on the D-pad. I don't know what the... I'm assuming left was the original and they changed it for some reason. I couldn't tell you why, but that does appear to be what they've done. Okay, so in classic, right trigger unlocks the Y-axis, which is inverted. Oh, that's very confusing. I'm not, for the record, I'm not complaining about it in regards to this game. I mean, if this is how it was originally and they want to have an original control scheme, then more power to them. But this is really weird. And the reason I'm taking issue with it is because, like I said, it looks like if you want to have motion controls, you have to have... Yeah. Yeah, so... Oh. Oh, that's weird. Okay, so the... I don't know how to feel about this. I kind of wish they let you do it with the twin stick as well. So, it controls like the classic mode, except the scan visor is now back on the right side again instead of on the left side. But what used to be the, like, turn stick into free cam, if you hold the right trigger, now stick becomes strafe left, right, move forward, backward, and motion control to aim. But then as soon as you let go, it's gonna... Oh, no. No, never mind. If you let go, it'll stay up there. And then you can lock on to hold it, or otherwise, if you start moving, it will slowly descend back while you're moving. But, again, you have to do left stick forward, backward, and look left, right, and right stick for, presumably, switch beams. That's a questionable decision. I think the only way that that makes sense to me would be if they're only planning on having the classic control scheme. Oh, wait! No. Okay. So you can do... Under camera controls, you can do gyro. Oh, yeah. And then now I'm in twin stick mode, and I can do this, and I can do this at the same time. So, if that exists, then what's the point of hybrid controls? Oh no, it hides them when you're in hybrid mode. So now, okay, so if I'm in dual stick, I get camera down here, which allows me to enable gyro plus stick. If I'm in pointer, I get pointer-specific motion control settings. If I'm in hybrid, I get hybrid-specific motion control settings. And if I'm in classic... Huh. Okay. Oh, and they even have some controls to switch Y and X. Okay, it looks like Spring Ball made it into this, so that's cool. Huh. Okay. This is interesting. Lock on free aim. The targeting reticle will remain fixed on enemies. Use motion controls to fine-tune. Use stick to fine-tune while locked on. Or both. Okay, this is something I want to test. So, if you played the Wii version... and I don't know how it applied to the GameCube version, but if you played the Wii version, there was this... it was the same setting. Oh, wow, that dropped some frames. Okay, then. That looks nice. That looks really nice. No, if you played the Wii version... Oh my god! Why does this look so good? I'm genuinely impressed by how good this looks for a Switch title. Press Y. Okay, that I am going to change, because now that I know it's a setting, I'm going to change it. Anyways, if you played the original... Wait, is it not a setting for... this? Okay, so if you're in classic mode, you can switch Morph Ball and missiles. But if you're in dual stick mode, you just have to have them the way that they are. You can swap beam and visor, you can swap beam and missile, but you can't swap Morph Ball and I'm not gonna question it. Nintendo logic is Nintendo logic, I guess. Okay, I'm like several points removed from my point. Right. Okay, lock on free aim. So they had this thing in the Wii version where, because you had these pointer controls, the way they figured, it didn't really make any sense to have... oh yeah, okay. It didn't really make any sense, they figured, if you had these pointer controls to disallow you from using them when you were in lock-on mode. So you could lock onto something and then fine-tune your aim by continuing to be able to use the pointer controls, but the camera would stay locked on to the enemy and follow them around. So you just sort of had to aim within the screen instead of within the entire area, and it would take care of the camera for you. And it was a bit more cumbersome, but it gave you the advantage of, you know, if there was a rapidly moving enemy, you could sort of lead your shots and still be able to damage them while using the lock-on. And so, this is kind of interesting, because it'll let you do that here with the motion controls, even if you have them turned off for the overall control scheme. So, like, right now, I have... Oh, no. Okay, that doesn't do that. Well, that's weird. So right now I have the motion controls off, right? But you saw there when I locked on, and you'll see here again, because there's going to be some enemies in this room as well. Yeah. I'm still able to do motion controls to change my aim here, and the stick will also do it. So that's a bit interesting. That if you want only one or the other, that seems to be an option. That would then have me asking, can I do it the other way around? Can I have... If I go into control scheme, and I say I want gyro plus stick aim, but then on lock on free aim, I only want stick. Will it let me do that? So now I have, like, my full gyro here. Yeah, that's working. And I'm just gonna... Forgive me here. I'll cut this out. Yeah. Okay. So even though I have gyro aim on, because I set that setting, it won't do it here. It'll just let me do stick-based. So, okay, that is an option. You can do it either or. There are so many customization options here that I'm just like, why would you want this? And yet they won't let me put Morph Ball on X instead of on Y. Okay, this is proving to be mildly annoying. Yeah, so what other control options are there? There's just so much here now that now I'm just curious what I'm missing. So you can... Okay, so you can set X to be missile, but you can't switch with... Huh. Alright, that's interesting. Spring ball sensitivity... Okay, so that's still using a flick. So it looks like the motion controls still apply to... Still apply to the spring ball. And I'm going to turn down the sensitivity just a little bit on this. Wait, where is my... Okay, never mind. We're going back to default. It is not obvious where the control on that is. Control scheme. Dual stick. Camera. Gyro plus stick. Lock on free aim. Both. And then I want... camera gyro sensitivity to be pretty damn low. That might be 0, actually. Oh, God. Yeah, okay. I see. I see what's gone on here. So, yeah, that's really confusing, because I see the line in the center there, and I was thinking that was where the sensitivity was at, but no, it appears to be... Oh, no. I see what they've done. So they've separated out. Okay, so you can control the motion controls separately for standard mode. Okay, I'm going to reset to the defaults again then. You can control the sensitivity separately for if you're in normal camera mode or if you're in this lock-on free aim mode. And this is where I thought it was too sensitive. And it makes sense because you can see how much higher the little notch is here. So if I turn this down quite a bit and I go back into the game, I'll probably find it significantly more comfortable. Yeah. You can go bye-bye. Because I am sort of notorious for my, like, miserably shaky hands, so... As much as I like the gyro aiming, it can't be too sensitive, or the whole game just becomes unplayable, because I'll, like, shake enough just trying to pull the trigger that I can't actually hit a damn shot. I have a similar thing in Splatoon. It's like, you know, I want it on, but I don't want it that far on, or things are gonna get really difficult. I mean, you can even see there, probably. We're just gonna go ahead and be sure to scan everything here. Glad to see the pattern still here. I don't think it's ever totally explained how that works, but it doesn't really need to be either. Oh yeah, that's 1,000 times better. Okay. It's not, I mean, it's a little bit of shakiness, but it was a little bit of shakiness on the Wii as well, because that's just the nature of how that works, allowing you to aim while you're in that view, right? But that's much easier to control. Just turning down the sensitivity just that little bit. Oh, I didn't... Aw, what a shame. Oh, crap! Was there a thing up there, too? Oh, have I already fucked this up? That's okay. Whoa. Living being. There we go. Okay. Shit. How did I lose lock on there? Okay, yeah, that works. Yeah, that's a thing, that has happened a couple times now. I'm not totally sure how I'm, like, losing my lock on. I don't think that was a thing in the original, if they, like, got out of view that you would lose it, but... Maybe I'm just bad. I don't know. Alrighty then. I always think that that's like a charge up, and then I remember... Okay, that's not how you get out of Morph Ball. There we go. I always think that's like a charge up thing, and then I remember, oh yeah, you don't have that yet. Ah, the face on the visor's still there. That's nice. Not that I thought they would get rid of it, but I don't know. That's one of those things I always forget is a thing until I see it, you know? Presumably the save room is in here, right? Am I just not close enough? Yeah, there we go. Man. Oh. I really like the look. I mean, they haven't changed that much about the suit, but the way the lighting is, it just makes it look so good. Okay, I can't... There we go. That wasn't stupid at all. Pretty sure this is the end of the end of the opening sequence, and like I said, that was really all I was planning on doing here. Oh man, the extra bit of texture on that, like light, like shield thing. Oh, and there's a lot more detail on her. There's, like, significantly more detail on her. Like, what exactly this character was supposed to be was not the most clear thing in the original. There we go. Yeah, I was gonna say, don't I have a dash? I was literally gonna say that in the other room and then I got distracted, but it wasn't working. But I guess maybe you just get it here? I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't help that I have, like, a sore arm right now, so trying to... It's like I'm already super shaky, and then, like, trying to hold my arm still when it's kind of sore. Not helping matters. But, yeah, this is nice, though, that they retained this. Because again, I haven't played the original, but the way that this was set up in the trilogy really made it seem like it was a trilogy-specific feature. You know what else was a trilogy-specific feature? Were all those fucking little token things that you can't even use anymore because they were for, like, the Me, like, online thing, the Me Plaza online thing, and those are gone, right? I didn't get, like, an achievement for that. Alright, let's see if I can remember how to get through this. Probably not. I genuinely did. I think this is the only one that I genuinely fucked up my first time. I actually used all 7 minutes and ran out of time on this one. The first time I played it. That is probably one of the most embarrassing things I've ever done. Is actually managing to fuck this one up. Alright. Oh yeah, and there's another one. I totally forgot about that. I don't remember where to go here. Am I going up here? I am. Man, I kind of wish the FOV was a bit higher in this. Not that that's the kind of thing I would expect Nintendo to do, but I kind of still wish for it anyway. You know, that's probably why I ran out of time, is because I was fighting these fuckers. Yeah, and then this is the one where it's like... kind of a bitch to get through, because there's like the piston or whatever that you have to get past. Man, the contrast of them on this background too. This looks really good, man. It's, again, it's not like a masterclass in graphics. It's not the best looking game of 2023. It's not the best looking game of the past, like, couple years. But it's, for a Nintendo title, and especially for a re-release of a GameCube game, given Nintendo's recent track record, like, this is impressive. This is what I would have expected out of, like, the 3D All-Stars game, or out of, was it Skyward Sword, I think? That was just, like, a straight-up port of the Wii game. And I'm very glad to see this treatment being given to this game. Because I know I'm biased, but as far as I'm concerned, this is the one that deserves it the most. So if there was some sort of constraint that they could only do one of them, which there wasn't, for the record, it's Nintendo. They have lots of money and lots of time. But if there was some constraint that only one of those games could get this treatment, I'm glad that it was Prime. Yeah, this is the one I was thinking of. I'm gonna probably fuck it up here, actually, already. There we go. Okay, beautiful. Man, this looks really good. This... I'm genuinely impressed by how good this looks. Here he comes! That didn't look good. Okay, whatever. I'm heaping all the praise on the graphics, and they just zoom in on this, like, horrible texture. Oh, man, that looks really... Oh, my God, the water effects! Wait. This is the time to test it, right? No, I don't think they did it! They took out some of the water effects in, Oh, you can't go back. Damn it, that's alright. They took out some of the water effects in Trilogy. And, I don't remember which specific effects it was, but I'm pretty sure they're missing still. I can for sure check... This is the dumbest thing that ever happened in any of these games. I'm glad that it looks good, but it's still stupid. I guess I can check, like, on the surface of Talon 4, because there's, like, a puddle right at the start, so I don't actually have to go anywhere. It's just there. But, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was that it was reactive, but it wouldn't ripple. I'm pretty sure that was the difference between the Trilogy version and the GameCube version. The GameCube version had, like, a ripple, and they took it out in the Wii version. Does any of this have any language to translate on it? No. It's not the best looking fire effect in the world. But the lighting sure as hell helps. Oh, man, that really looks good. That really looks good. I'm kind of in love with how this looks. That didn't look good. But the lighting coming off of it looks good. That's what I was trying to say before I got distracted by the metal. Like, the like, smoke and fire in the explosion didn't look great, but the lighting coming off of it looked really, really good. Yeah, no, man, for a Switch game, this is... Yeah, again, every time I try and compliment it, it gives me, like, 240p tree texture. But this looks really, really good for a Switch game. This looks really good for a Switch game. It's enough to make me wonder if they, like, pushed it as far as it could go for this remaster. And we're just like, screw it. We're gonna delay Prime 4 for the new system because we just can't make it look better than this, and we want to make it look better than this. Which, like, if this is what Prime 4 looked like, I don't even think I'd complain, but it's to that level where it's like, you know, I can see how fake this grass looks, right? I can see the sort of pixelation on the grass texture, and I can see the, like, flatness of these, like, papers of grass floating. And I could totally see that being enough to where they're just like, yeah, we're gonna push this off, especially considering that it was already like a monumental project that they had to completely reboot. And this water looks good too. But this is the moment. Does it ripple? It does! I wonder if they just had it disabled on that one puddle. because it already had so many effects going on. Yeah, so they added it back, because this was gone on the Wii. Alright. And then I think there's, like, one other thing here that was gone on the Wii. Wait, did I have my double jump? No. I guess I just jumped off of the ship. I think there's a way to, like, sequence break and, like, get back there. I don't remember it. I'm not going to be able to tell you if that's possible here or not. But, yeah. Wow, this is, again, just, like, initial impressions. This is really good. It's not a masterpiece by any means, and I'm sure you could probably do better with, like, an emulator. But, I mean, this is more than I was expecting when I heard this was a thing. And again, to just have it come out day and day with the announcement is really cool. If you have a Wii U lying around, and I'm sure that that's, like, maybe one of you on the entire internet, I think Trilogy is still for sale there for the time being. And I think that's probably still the better value, because, like I said, I mean, those games have aged, but they haven't aged that badly. The motion controls feel really, really nice. And you get all 3 games for 20 bucks. But I think 40 is a fair price to charge. That's great. It changes to red when you focus on the center of it. That's really good. No, I think 40 is a perfectly fair price considering the amount of game you get for that money. And if you do, I mean, it does really look good. So if you don't have a Wii U lying around, which is probably most people, I wouldn't feel bad about spending the money. And even if you do, I wouldn't feel too bad about spending the money, because even though I think given the choice between one or the other, I would still buy it on the Wii U, I can totally understand why someone would prefer this, because it really does look good. And you get it portably. It's a Switch game. You gotta consider that. This is a portable game now. It was absolute state-of-the-art in 2001, I suppose. But just the idea of it being portable is kind of cool. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. If you haven't played this game, go play it. It's really good. It's really good.